Let me tell you something. One of the biggest mistakes people make in life is thinking that praying is like ordering something on Amazon Prime. You hit send, you expect delivery in 2 days. But life doesn't work like that. God doesn't work like that. And if you're serious about walking the path that's meant for you, you better learn how to trust your prayers even when nothing around you looks like it's working. Let me tell you something. Prayer is not a magic trick. It ain't a slot machine where you pull the lever and expect to hit the jackpot. It's not about asking and then watching your life change overnight. Nah, prayer is a process. It's a commitment. And most importantly, it's an act of trust. See, anybody can pray when things are going well. Anybody can drop down to their knees when they need something. But real faith, real trust is believing that your prayer has already been answered, even when all you see is chaos. I know what it's like to be down. I know what it's like to be broken, confused, angry, frustrated, disappointed. I know what it's like to cry out to God and feel like He's gone silent, like He's turned His back on you. You pray and nothing happens. Days go by, weeks, months, and you start asking, what's the point? Why am I even praying if nothing's changing? But that's where you've got it all twisted. Just because you can't see the shift doesn't mean the shift ain't happening. Just because the door hasn't opened doesn't mean the key isn't already in the lock. See, the thing about prayer is it moves things behind the scenes. It moves people. It moves energy. It moves you. And sometimes before your situation can change, you have to change. Let's be real. If God gave you everything you prayed for instantly, you'd ruin it. You'd mess it up because you weren't ready. You're praying for success, but you don't have discipline. You're praying for love, but you don't know how to love yourself. You're praying for peace, but you still chase chaos. See, the waiting period, that's not punishment, that's preparation. That's where the growth happens. That's where you're built. And trust me, when God is building you, it's because what He has for you is bigger than what you can see. But we're so impatient. We're addicted to speed. We want everything now, right now, today. But sometimes God's greatest blessings are the ones He holds back until you're ready. So you gotta trust your prayers. You gotta believe that every word you said was heard. You gotta walk like it's already done. You gotta speak like it's already yours. That's faith. That's power. That's what takes you from survival to destiny. And don't get it twisted. Trusting your prayers doesn't mean doing nothing. Faith without works is dead. That means you still gotta hustle. You still gotta show up. You still gotta do your part. Prayer is the plan. Action is the vehicle. God gives the vision, but you gotta move your feet. You gotta take that dream and do the work, knowing that your prayers are guiding every step. And when it gets hard, and it will get hard, you remind yourself, I didn't come this far to quit. I didn't make it through hell to stop now. I didn't cry all those nights just to give up. I trust my prayers. I trust the process. I trust the promise. You ever notice how things work out in the end? Even when you thought it was all falling apart, somehow, some way it came together. You ever go through something that felt like the end of the world, only to look back and realize it was the beginning of something better? That's prayer in action. That's divine timing. That's the stuff you can't explain, but you feel it. And once you've seen that happen a few times, you stop panicking. You stop doubting. You stop begging. You start trusting. Some of y'all are living in the middle of a blessing right now and you don't even see it. You're too focused on what's missing, what's delayed, what's hard. But let me ask you something. What if the storm you're in is the exact thing that's making you into who you need to be? What if the delay is saving you from disaster? What if the answer to your prayer isn't no, it's not yet? I'm telling you, trust your prayers. Even when the silence is deafening, even when the tears won't stop, even when the world says give up, because you're not just talking to the ceiling when you pray. You're sending out a message to the most powerful force in the universe. And He hears you, He sees you, He knows what you need before you even say it. And you know what else? He's not ignoring you. He's aligning everything for you. He's setting the stage. He's moving the pieces. But He's also watching how you wait. Are you waiting with bitterness or with belief? Are you waiting with fear or with faith? That's the test. And if you can pass the test in the valley, you'll be ready for the mountain. Some of y'all are praying like God owes you something, like He's an employee working the night shift, and you're waiting for your order to come out hot and fresh. Let me tell you something. Prayer is not about controlling God's hand. It's about aligning your heart. When you start treating prayer like a transaction instead of transformation, you miss the whole point. You don't pray to change God's mind. You pray to get in sync with His plan. And here's the beautiful part. The more you trust your prayers, the more peace you feel. Even when things ain't perfect, even when things don't go your way, there's a calm that comes with surrender. That's right, surrender. Now don't confuse surrender with giving up. Giving up is quitting on life. Surrender is saying, I've done what I can, now I'm letting God do what only He can. You got dreams, good. You got goals, even better. You got a prayer life, now you're dangerous. But you gotta know how to mix all that together. Some folks are dreamers, but never pray. Some people pray but never move. And some do both, but the moment it gets hard, they start questioning everything. That's where trust comes in. Because prayer isn't just about what you say, it's about how you wait. Waiting. Who? That's the hardest part, ain't it? We hate waiting. We hate not knowing. We hate silence. But silence is not absence. Sometimes silence is strategy. Sometimes God goes quiet so you can go deeper, so you can learn how to trust the unseen, so you can start developing spiritual maturity. See, if you only trust God when He talks, you ain't really trusting Him. Real faith is trusting God even when He whispers, even when He doesn't say a word. And let me tell you something else. You won't always get what you prayed for. Nope. Sometimes God says no, and that no might just be the biggest blessing of your life. Some of y'all prayed for that relationship to work out and God blocked it. Some of y'all begged for that job and God closed the door. Some of you cried over what you lost, not knowing it was saving your future. You don't need to understand every no to trust your prayer. You just need to trust the one who heard it. And if you're feeling tired, if you've been praying and waiting and hoping and still nothing has changed, I want you to hear me clearly. You are closer than you think. Some breakthroughs don't come with fireworks. They come in quiet moments. Some answers to prayer don't show up in the form you expected. They come disguised as challenge, change, or redirection. But if you quit now, you'll never know what was around the corner. You know why a lot of people give up on their prayers? Because they confuse delay with denial. Let me say that again. Delay is not denial. Just because it didn't happen yet doesn't mean it won't. Some of the greatest things in life take time. You can't microwave purpose. You can't rush healing. You can't shortcut greatness. So keep praying, keep believing, keep walking. You know what builds real trust? Consistency. You gotta make prayer your lifestyle, not just your emergency contact. Don't just pray when things go wrong. Pray when things are right. Don't just cry out when you're scared. Speak when you're grateful. That's how you build a relationship with God that's deeper than your needs. That's when prayer stops being something you do and becomes who you are. Because prayer ain't just about talking, it's about listening. It's about sitting still long enough to feel peace rise up in you. It's about turning off the noise so you can hear your own soul breathe. Some of y'all are so busy worrying, stressing, planning, controlling. You haven't heard God whisper in weeks, and you wonder why your soul's tired. You wonder why your vision's cloudy. It's because you stopped listening. But the good news is, you can start again, right now. Go somewhere quiet. Put your phone down. Shut the noise off. Close your eyes. Take a breath, and just say, God, I trust you. I don't know how it's gonna work out. I don't have the answers, but I trust my prayer. I trust you heard me. I trust you're working on it. That one moment of surrender, that can shift everything. That one prayer can realign your entire life. Let me ask you something. How different would your life look if you prayed with expectation? Not desperation, expectation. How different would your energy be if you truly believed that everything you're asking for is already on the way? How would you show up if you knew your breakthrough was tomorrow? That's the kind of mindset that moves mountains. That's the kind of faith that opens doors. See, when you really trust your prayer, your language changes. You stop saying, I hope it works out, and start saying, I know it will. You stop saying, maybe one day, and start saying, my time is coming. You stop living in fear and start walking in faith. That shift, that's power. That's growth. That's what separates the ones who dream from the ones who live the dream. And let me just say this, don't let other people's doubts make you question your prayers. Not everyone's gonna understand your faith. Not everyone's gonna believe in your vision. That's okay. They weren't on the line when you prayed. They didn't see what you saw. They didn't feel what you felt. You don't need their confirmation. You already got God's. And when the breakthrough comes, because it will, don't forget who carried you through the fire. Don't forget who stayed when everyone else walked away. Don't forget the late nights, the silent tears, the whispered prayers. That was the seed. That was the beginning. And when the fruit shows up, when the door opens, when the blessing comes, remember it all started with a prayer you trusted, even when you didn't have proof. So wherever you are right now, whether you're on the mountain or in the valley, whether you're winning or just trying to survive, I want you to stop worrying, stop doubting, and stop looking around for signs. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and remind yourself, I prayed for this journey, I trusted those prayers, I'm still trusting them. Because life's not about having all the answers, it's about knowing who you're talking to. And if you've prayed with a sincere heart, then trust that heaven heard you loud and clear. Now go on and live like it's already done. Walk like it's already yours. Speak like your name is already written on the blessing. Because when you trust your prayers, you don't just believe in what's coming, you start becoming the person it was always meant for.